Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, during campaign time, William Ruto was selling bottom-up economic model. And the same William Ruto framed railaodinga as a man who is going to implement the trickle-down economic model. That was the difference between Kenya Kwanza and Azimio la Umoja. And one man, Atwoli, the Kotu Secretary General, came out and he asked Kenyans one question: in whose hands are you safe? That question was supposed to be answered on ballot. It was either voting for William Ruto or railaodinga, so that you are choosing the safe hands to lead you for the next 5 years. And yes, we are aware that we have Kenya Kwanza government at the place, and we have Railaodinga on the other side. So William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua have formed the presidency this time round. And after election, we are aware that the salary and the remuneration had reviewed the salary of members of parliament. Of course, they reduced it. Again, the court pronounced itself and they were clear that CDF was unconstitutional. That means those people who are in office as of now, the members of parliament, will not have access to CDF, and of course their salary has been reduced. So Atwoli has come out to defend these members of parliament. And according to Atwoli, he is saying that members of parliament should have their allowances or audition. And again, they should have their CDF back. Members of parliament should dress well, they should earn very well, so that they don't become thieves in this country. But what Atwoli is saying is not new. Whatever he's saying is already something that the Kenya Kwanza Speaker of the National Assembly, Masika Wetangula, had already promised these members of parliament. Wetangula promised these members of parliament that no one is going to take away their CDF. Wetangula has also promised these members of parliament that they will have their salary the same way the other members of parliament had enjoyed it. So what Atwoli is saying is just to repeat what Wetangula had talked about. I wanted to listen to Atwoli shortly, and then after this, we want to analyze the meaning of what Atwoli is telling the electorate and the UDA government.
Supposed to be really members of parliament. If you say a member of parliament cannot be well paid, what are you saying? Our members of parliament are unique. So many people depend on them. And there are a lot of things they have got to initiate in their own constituencies and what have you. When you can tell them from earning what will give them the dignity as members of parliament, then you are doing this service to the country. Our leaders must appear well, must dress well, must have nice cars, must be able to speak, must appear representative, must be seen as members of parliament. And it is us as taxpayers to make sure that they are well dressed, so that they don't become conmen or do some other businesses which are not what a member of parliament doing. Members of parliament carry with them a very high dignity and respect as elected leaders. And they should not be told, you can't have CDF, you can't have this, we have stopped this, they are maimed. I don't think whether we are moving in the right direction. Our members of parliament must earn well, must have allowances, must appear well dressed, must be really members of parliament representing the lowly placed people. If you are hungry, how do you represent the fellow hungry people of Kenya? How do you, this, and you become a beggar? How do you become a beggar? And you need to carry with yourself that dignity and respect of an elected official. So I don't think whether SRC and other people, including our judiciary.
Now, we are continuing with the panel discussion, but just a quick request. You might be watching this channel, but not yet subscribed, so my humble request, Please consider subscribing so that another time, once we release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our channel subscribers and an honored comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Again, I'm requesting you to give our video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our videos to more viewers. Back to our discussion. Now, according to Atwoli, na watu wengi wanasema ya kwamba Atwoli is just doing acrobatic manic to please the William Ruto government. It might be yes or no. Because again, Atwoli might just be playing politics here in response to how the government is behaving. Now, he's saying that members of parliament need to earn well because they have so many things that they are doing in their respective constituencies. So they need to get good salary and they need their CDF so that they can do their work properly. But William Ruto told Kenyans that he wants to bring a bottom-up government. Because now, what Atwoli is talking about is the issue that Ruto was against. Trickle down. You put money up there, and then it trickles coming down systematically. But Ruto promised that he will put money down, so that now from bottom, the money will be going upward. So the question we are asking on this panel today, giving CDF and more salary to the members of parliament, is it a bottom up that Ruto was selling, or that is trickle down? What were you UDA? Na wale wenye wana support the government should tell us in the comment section. Because members of parliament are up there. And people who need money are on the ground here. Na Wetangula amesema lazima mishahara na CDF irudi. Is it bottom up or trickle down? Remember, these Kenyan members of parliament are among the people, in fact, they are the highest paid members of parliament in the world. So be aware, these people are paid well more than any other country. But they are asking for more. They need to control even everything, even CDF, they want to have a say. Not that they are being paid so poorly and they should be upgraded. No. Again, we are aware that the salaries these members of parliament are getting, compared to what is being collected in this country, it is small. That's the truth. But now the problem is that corruption is taking the whole money. Until now, we are even asking these people to take small salary so that more money will be saved to do other things. The problem is that even when you release their money, whatever you are collecting from them is going into corruption. It will go there. That's why Atwoli is saying, give them that money. Corruption is the biggest problem here. Not members of parliament salary. You cut it, but then it goes to corruption, not development. So Atwoli is telling these people that the trickle down that you are learning away from is here to stay. And that is exactly what William Ruto is going to implement. Those who are waiting for bottom up, you will wait for too long for it to happen. If you will see members of parliament controlling CDF, and if their salary is going to be retained, then you should be aware that Ruto is working on trickle down and not the bottom up that he had promised the electorate. That is what Atwoli is telling you. But then the question in the building is that how will Ruto stop corruption? Because if you stop corruption, there is nothing like there's no big deal like all members of parliament getting good salary. There will be enough money to serve this country. There will be enough money for the hustlers in this country. But you can still retain the trickle down model of economy. So wale wenye wanangoja bottom up utangoja for too long, because even now those people who are campaigning on bottom up, they are here to implement trickle down. They need their salary. They need to control CDF in this country. And one funny thing about these members of parliament, you know, I'm talking about this because I have heard the Speaker of the National Assembly talking about this thing. Remember, he was elected largely by the UDA or by the Kenya Kwanza side. Those are the people who brought him to power. These are the members of parliament who are elected on UDA, ANC, Ford Kenya, hizo ndo walichaguliwa. And by the way, there are many. Kenya Kwanza, almost equal to Azimio. So it was half-half. These people don't have even etiquette when it comes to eating. Because if you have good manners, etiquette, the good thing you should do when you have cooked food is to feed the poor or the hungry. Let me say it like that. It is for you to feed the hungry before you eat. But where is our members of parliament starting from? They simply start to eat the food before feeding the hungry. That is how UDA government is going to work. You first of all feed yourself, and once you are good, once you are full, it's then when you will think about the poor and the hungry. But what they preached was bottom up. Bottom up means feeding the hungry before you feed yourself. Work for the poor, work for the hustler, mama mboga, before you think about your pocket. They say they will put money in the hustler's pocket. But the first thing they are doing is to put money in their pocket. Trickle down. Where is the bottom up? Where is the bottom up? Walikuwa wanatuambia harambee. Wanasema bottom up, pesa mfukoni. Harambee, kazi ni kazi, pesa mfukoni. Sasa kazi ni gani? Na pesa mfukoni ni mfuko ya nani? Ni mfuko ya mbunge ama ni mfuko ya Mkenya mwenye ambaye waliita hustler? So bottom up was a scam, and the Kenyans were duped. So you are here to face the music. See you in our next video.